the earth.
Hello.
Welcome. We come in peace. It is 12:30 on the dot, and that means we are bringing you The Drop. I'm Ruben Dominguez. That is Quinn Bishop. We're Cactus Music World headquarters. The list, sir.
Oh man, let's rock it. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about this week. We're gonna kick it off with like two of the biggest hip hop titles of the year. The new Kendrick Lamar album. This actually came out Friday before last, but you know these big hip hop records, they're embargoed, meaning you're not allowed to talk about them before they actually come out. So Kendrick Lamar, let me get the title right, Mr. Morale, and the Big Steppers. You know, obviously one of the most influential hip hop figures ever. This is it's been 5 years since his last.
That's what I'm about to say. It's at least 5 years.
And you know, it always. You know, it's his fourth #1 record. He really connects with people on a deep level.
Yeah.
Pulitzer Prize winning.
That's right.
Artist, and you know the reviews on this thing are spectacular. You know, very personal work. So dig in there.
Great lyricist.
Check it out.
You know.
And did you know this? If you're wondering what's next for Kendrick Lamar, live action comedy film with Trey and Matt from South Park.
Yes. Yeah. They were talking about that on Sirius. That's amazing.
That's cool. That's right on.
Dude is a powerhouse, man.
I know it.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's keep it rolling. Post Malone, 12 Carat. Posty. Packaging on this is kind of cool, right? It's just the disc with like a little bitty booklet in there. Kind of doing his own thing. Obviously, best-selling, award-winning.
Yeah.
One of the most popular guys.
Yeah.
In recent times, new single, Cooped Up with Roddy Ricch. I think we all felt cooped up in the last couple of years.
Yep.
So it's a signature song for that. And, it's going to be huge.
I like the name.
People love him. Fourth record.
12 Carat.
Going to be a big one. All right.
Hi, Judy.
And now for something completely different. Rufus Wainwright sings Judy Garland.
Sure.
Rufus is a huge fan, fantastic voice. He covered the Judy Garland live album. It was one of the best-selling records ever. He covered that in its entirety. I guess this is kind of a follow-up, and this has got our good friend Kristen Chenoweth on it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, duetting on Happy Days Are Here Again.
The Queen of Broadway.
The Queen of Broadway.
That's super cool.
Rufus, big, powerful voice, son of Loudon Wainwright. Sister is Martha Wainwright.
Yes.
Very musical family.
Yes. And speaking of, I don't know, not speaking of Broadway, but album of somebody else's music, artist doing somebody else's music, Mark Tremonti of Creed, Alter Bridge, and Mark Tremonti is putting out an album of all Frank Sinatra songs.
I had not heard that. And you'll hear all about it here on The Drop.
Good Lord.
Coming soon.
Yes.
Coming soon to record stores near you. We love to introduce new music on this program. And this is, have you heard this band, Horsegirl?
Yep.
Very cool group.
They are all over Sirius XM. They're pulling the hell out of this.
New Matador signing, which Matador definitely with new artists has a high standard. One of the biggest labels of the alternative college
legendary
era, and this is it's jangly, it's kind of shoegazy, it's definitely a throwback to the classic, alternative college music era, whatever they used to call it back then. But it's a cool record. You're looking for something new to listen to. It's a good summer record.
I agree. From what I've heard, I like it.
When you get finished listening to Wet Leg, just go straight to Horsegirl, right?
Yeah, put them together, and they create a Power Ranger.
Next up, Laura Jane Grace. This is another. Yes. I think we're kind of coming to the end of the pandemic albums a little bit. What is it? 10-inch record. It's a full length. I guess a little shorter than full length LP. It looks like 7 songs, but this is people will know Laura Jane Grace from Against Me.
Yes.
And
great live band if you ever get a chance to see them.
Terrific live band. And the solo records have been kind of different. They're sometimes a little folkier, sometimes just kind of all over the place. Pandemic records, so made at home. So we'll see what that sounds like. But great artist. We've done multiple events with her here at the store, and
cool.
a wonderful person to work with.
Right on, man.
And
colored vinyl.
Colored vinyl, of course.
At war with the silverfish. Crystal clear
I'm
vinyl.
always at war with the
Aren't we
silverfish.
all?
That's what I mean. Hell with those guys.
I know.
All right, we keep it rocking.
Please do.
Michael Monroe.
Oh, yes.
I live too fast to die young, and boy, doesn't he look like he kind of corpse like.
But he looked like that the first time we saw him.
He did too. For those of you that aren't familiar,
Hanoi Rocks.
famed frontman from Hanoi Rocks. Some say he's one of the greatest frontmen ever. You know, if you don't know that band, tremendous influence on Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue. They kind of did it first. And
never cracked it over here.
Never cracked it. They were huge in Japan,
Oh God.
monstrous in Japan and
Like
in
the
Europe.
Beatles.
In fact, they still would reunite, and he's still just a superstar in Japan. And you know, one of my favorite guitar players in this band, Steve Conte, who makes records on his own, but
We've talked about Steve Conte before.
He did hit a solo record, pandemic solo record.
Right on, man.
You know, he was in the last version of New York Dolls, which toured. But I tell you what, man, if you look straight ahead, glammy rock and roll,
yes, sir.
This one is for you, my
Love
friend. Next up,
iTunes.
American Aquarium. This is not much to look at on the, you know, if you like your dreamy.
A lot of CDs.
Yeah, a lot of CDs this time. We're waiting on the vinyl on some of these, I guess. There's your beachfront property. Oh, there's the fence there too.
Well, they're on 30 Tigers.
They're on 30
somebody
Tigers.
I like is on there. And
There's a lot of artists because it's they're tied to a management company and great Americana label. And for those that don't know, American Aquarium is basically a gentleman, BJ Barham, who makes kind of torn from the soul, very personal singer-songwriter-y type music. His very loyal, ardent following.
Yeah.
His records are cool.
Nice.
This one is called Chicamacomico.
What?
I know. I said that like 4 times before we did this, so I would not.
I wonder if it means anything.
No, we're gonna find out.
Okay.
I think I was surprised. I think he like sold out Heights Theater last time that he was touring. I didn't know there were that many fans, but yeah, cool artist. Keeping it on the folk Americana tip here, we got a few more artists that fit that bill. Patty Griffin, the great Patty Griffin.
Great.
From Austin, Texas. Look at this cover. Tape. Cassette culture is back, people.
It is indeed.
It is. And so this is kind of another pandemic record. These are demos from her personal vaults. If you don't know her, she is an award-winning songwriter, been covered by pretty much everybody, written a ton of hits. And so these are, I think, versions of some of those, also on 30 Tigers. That record features a guest from her ex-boyfriend, a guy named Robert Plant. He was in some band.
And they dated?
Oh yeah, they were together for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, until he
shows what I know.
Moved back to England. Yeah,
shows you what I know.
And
not much apparently.
Anyway, she has a fantastic voice. Check if you're not familiar with her, check her out because she is great. Mary Gauthier. This record is called "Dark Enough to See the Stars." I love the title, and I will tell you that, by my estimation, that title sums up her records. Very dark stuff with a pronounced silver lining on all the material. Again, she's written a ton of songs that's covered by Tim McGraw and Jimmy Buffett and Blake Shelton, but she is definitely on the darker side. She did a record a couple years ago that was an award-winning record where she co-wrote songs with veteran, like Gulf War veterans about their experience.
Okay,
Yeah, she is really top drawer songwriter, and I'm sure this promises to be stand with her best.
Track number 8 is called "Truckers and Troubadours."
There you go.
Like that's the one I want to hear.
Which one are you?
I don't know. Neither.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah, no, I'm qualified. I'm not allowed into either one of those clubs. and so this is more an apology for Quinn that I just realized he deserves because I made a bad decision to have onions and cilantro on all of my tacos. So he's probably getting murdered right now. And I actually have my Listerine in the car, so I apologize.
And gang, you know, this is why we
sorry.
don't shoot the drop in smell-o-vision.
Rookie mistake. Please continue.
All right.
Please continue.
You're the professional.
That's the frightening part of this.
Next up, we get bluesy Mr. Matt Andersen. He's a Canadian blues
I don't know Matt.
artist. He's great. He's one of those guys kind of bubbles under. He plays Houston pretty regularly. This record is his first all-acoustic affair. He's very, very soulful, like big, I think like 60s R&B type voice. So that paired with his songwriting and blues. I personally prefer it when he's on acoustic guitar versus electric, but this record's getting rave reviews. If you love the blues and you need somebody new to listen to, this guy's great.
He may be a painter as well. This looks like a self-portrait, little oil on canvas job right there.
There you go.
All right. Cool. It's on sale too.
All right, and we're going to finish up the new release portion of the program.
Let's do it.
With Miss Carrie Underwood. And she has a new album called Denim and Rhinestones. And that's a very Dolly sounding title, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say about her. She's always
Nothing
great. Country
always
superstar. Looks great, sounds great, always has a great bag of tunes.
Saw her for 2 seconds on the red carpet in LA.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She was very sweet. She waved. Didn't do interviews then.
I probably, if I was her, I wouldn't do it.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. Yeah. It's all the.
Yeah.
She's one of those artists that she's so big that if she starts doing interviews, you know that there's cracks are showing or something. You know what I mean?
A lot of people came out of that little American Idol show, that little singing competition. That a lot. I think more people hated than actually liked.
I think that could be true. You know, and the crazy thing about it is that created stars like her, but then there's a lot of people.
The majority of people went nowhere.
Careers,
but that's you would think they're not going to hit a home run every single time.
Right.
I mean,
but then they go somewhere. There's a lot of them that do have a career, make records or whatever, but they're just not Idol.
I mean,
sorry for Idol fans out there.
I think I physically covered the show for 10 years. I think Lambert was third.
I think that's right, yeah.
And that guy sells out soccer stadiums in Thailand. There are parts of the world where that dude's a huge solo artist. But the Queen gig isn't bad either.
Queen gig is pretty good.
Yeah, I saw them at the Platinum Jubilee. They came out and did 3 songs. They sounded. I saw them in concert. I went to see Queen with Adam Lambert.
I did too.
It was really good. Great. He's got his own thing. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now we enter the people's favorite part of the show.
Yes, sir. Reissues. Let's do it.
Where we talk about stuff that has not been available for a while.
Baby. That's a
These
record.
guys are White Stripes. Icky Thump. And for those that remember this, they put this cool, very regal seal on the side. They've restored that to this packaging. One of their best records, and the tracks we got on there.
You Don't Know What Love Is, Icky Thump, obviously. Rag and Bone. Yeah, it's all good.
Great stuff on the Third Man label.
Did you ever see him?
Oh yeah,
I never saw him.
Yeah.
I've seen Jack White, but I've never seen them.
I did not see. I know a lot of people here. If everybody was there that claims to have been there, the capacity at Rudyard's that night was about 4,000 people.
Yeah, they played Rudyard's.
For the
what?
First or second record. Yeah.
Jeez.
I drove past it on the way home, and the line was down the block at 5 o'clock.
Did you go in?
No.
Okay. Holy.
I was probably doing something that's more important. Yeah. And
did you see the documentary where they did the Canadian tour, the tour through
Northern
Canada?
Lights?
It's really good.
I saw parts
oh my
of it.
God,
I thought it was
so
good. The live performance stuff was great.
Great.
And
yes.
Not just a record. Their Funko Pops came out.
Look at that. There they are.
Yeah.
Jack and Meg together again.
They even matched the font on that there too. Very some you White Stripes fans, you get some toys to play with.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And I will say, the White Stripes records have not been available for several years.
Right,
so
right,
it's great
right.
that they're all back.
Yeah, no,
out.
absolutely.
You get them. It's one of those artists. It's ridiculous when somebody comes down for us there's just not available right now.
Right.
Seems inconceivable.
This is cool. I think this is super cool.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So Cowboy Bebop. This is our best-selling soundtrack.
Yeah.
Of like the last year or so. I'm not saying something because when it was solicited, I didn't know anything about it. The band is the Seatbelts. The program, anime program, is Cowboy Bebop. But people were screaming for this thing, and it sold that first pressing. We hoarded it so that we'd have like a 6-month supply. Sold out super quick, and so they repressed it with a different color variant of white and opaque brown vinyl. I don't know why they picked those colors, but if you're familiar with the program,
having to do something to show, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Man, the live action series was a disaster.
Oh really?
Oh my God!
Whoops.
I think Rotten Tomatoes had to invent a different rating for the level of suck that was on television. Wow. I think it was Netflix, right? It was horrible. Right. It was unwatchable.
Really?
Like they announced that it was like canceled, wasn't coming back for next season, like weeks after it hit.
Denied it existed.
Yes.
Oh, we didn't really do that.
We were sold a bill of goods.
That didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
Forget what you saw.
But for fans of this show, so you do have these, right? Like
we have a bunch of them.
Come get them.
Yes.
All right.
Next up, those guys, the Rolling Stones
Heard
from England.
Yeah,
they continue their From the Vaults reissue series, and this is Rolling Stones.
On the train, aren't they?
Licked live in NYC. This is from 2003. Saw multiple times on this tour. They were awesome, and this is one of the better sounding shows. Some of the previous live archive series have been only broadcast quality from television.
Right.
This thing actually sounds pretty good. If you need another late period Stones live thing.
White vinyl, y'all.
White vinyl, y'all, and features a guest appearance by Sheryl Crow. Does she do "Live with Me" on there? I think that's the track she does with it.
What does it say?
Well, there you go.
All right, moving forward.
There you go. Next up, I had to put this in here just because the number, now that's what I call good music is on like 200. Well, the Jerry Garcia live series is now on volume 18. Good. Yeah, they just keep going for the boss. And this is his buddy Merle Saunders, who's kind of more of a folkier blues jazz guy. They did several records together on the Fantasy label. And this is a full show from them touring together. And it seems like there's a bottomless well of Jerry archival live releases coming out. And
November 2nd, 1974.
1974.
Recorded Berkeley, California.
If you were there, maybe you remember. Maybe you don't.
So cool.
Number 18th. There will be more. There will be more, people.
Yeah.
All right. I've been waiting to talk about this because I haven't seen it. But there's a new Sex Pistols package called the Original Recordings. It's a 20-track, 2 LP, multiple CD, retrospective that pulls together the later stuff like Cover Substitute, My Way, and as well as the classics from their debut album, Nevermind the Bollocks. Have you seen the show?
I have not seen the show, but there was a wild movement on social media in Britain to make God Save the Queen. It charted, and they were trying to push it to number 1. It was like, they were obviously because of the Platinum Jubilee, and
the timing was incredible because when it originally charted, it was Jubilee time, and it went to number 2. Right? It didn't make it to number 1.
Right. So they're trying to push it over the edge. As of this week's chart, I think it was in the top 5. I don't know. No, to answer your question, I haven't seen it. I have seen the John Lydon interviews on YouTube.
Ooh, man,
who's not happy about this. And,
I think
and
maybe
has said some very John Lydon-ish things.
Well, I think the program is based on the Steve Jones book, by all accounts, from your friends at Cactus.
I think you are correct.
Great.
Yes.
So it's probably just
And this is Disney, isn't it? Did Disney make this?
Maybe. I mean, it's all tied to Universal. They own the
all
masters worldwide. They're Warner Brothers in the United States, but so this is on.
No, I meant not this, but the show.
Oh, yeah.
This is very cool, though, man. I would love to have this.
Yeah, because there's really only one record and then a bunch of other stuff. So this kind of pulls all the essential tracks together for essential listening.
And I did work with a guy, good friend of mine, Chris. Little shout out to Chris McDonald, who was in fact present at the Raoul's show.
Oh man, nice. Very few people can brag about seeing that first tour, which was disastrous.
I saw that. I saw the very first reunion thing.
I saw that too.
Yeah, I thought they were great.
I thought it was fun. It was good. I
was like, man, they didn't sound that good back, the first tour.
Yeah, no doubt. The thing that was funny about that was how many like metal guys were there.
Oh, for sure.
It was crazy.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is
great. Oh, dude,
this is a monster package here. This is the LP version. There's a multi-CD version. But this is the 50th anniversary of Elton John's Madman Across the Water. His fourth record, really his first monster record. Follows Tumbleweeds, but you get BBC recordings, demos, live, alternate versions. With when I think you get a record like this that people know like the back of their hand.
Yeah,
that's when it's really fun to listen to the demos and see how they pulled it into being a finished record with all the production. Because he wasn't fully formed at that time. He was really just a piano player and singer.
71. This one's taped in 71, transmitted in April 29th, 1972. And Madman's third record? Fourth record. Fourth record. And back then, I think he was doing 2 records a year.
Did 2 a year. Which is, and one of them was a double. I mean, think of it. You look at his discography, and when you consider how high quality those records were back.
Because Greatest Hits came out in 75.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
It's pretty nuts.
That's that's insane.
So, and of course, all this bonus material is available on CD too, in a more affordable. I always feel like these big boxes on vinyl. Sometimes that bonus content is better served on a CD. But it's a beautiful package. Really, really cool for you, Elton.
Oh, you have the piano demos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Undubbed.
Wow.
Original recordings.
Such a brilliant player too. Just everything.
Okay, and to finish up our reissue program for the day,
running out of room.
This is finally out on vinyl. This is. This band, when they played in Houston, 1981, on the Escape Tour. This is Journey live from the Summit. Now, Lakewood Church, live from the Summit here in Houston, Texas. And we did an event with Jonathan Cain, and he said that is the moment when they played in Houston. They did 2 nights.
Yeah.
When the whole thing just blew up. And
this is one of the shows that I missed as a high school kid because I think it was a Wednesday night or something. My mom's like, "You're not leaving the house."
I saw the show, and the crazy thing was, so there's been a DVD, Blu-ray component of this release for years, and I had never seen it. And PBS ran it as fundraising during the pandemic.
Right.
And I happened to turn it on.
Oh, you'd never seen
I had never seen it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like
And-
if you Google, if you go on YouTube and you just
it's all
put in,
over the place.
you'd put in Don't Stop Believing Live, Houston show comes up.
Because Houston, a little bit of Houston trivia for you. The Summit was one of the first venues in the entire country that had pro-shot multi-camera views.
Did not know
so
that.
you could look at a big screen while if you were sitting a little far away from the show. And that's why some of the the Who, Queen, Journey, all these bands that played Houston that played that venue.
Right.
The best documented live show from those tours is from here in Houston because of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it was on PBS. Neil Sean, he gets a solo.
If you like guitar solos, side C, track 4 is called Neil Sean Solo. So yes.
Don't horn in on that.
Jeez.
No drums, no bass.
Bazillion notes.
But in watching this thing, I was immediately transported to being like 15 or 16 watching this thing, and it was as I remember because we were sitting there in the lower prom, just looking at the show.
Crazy.
It is pretty nutty.
Crazy. Yeah, I did not see it.
So we're going to finish up with one jazz record, but it is a mighty one. And jazz always gravitates to horns. It gravitates to
Oh, Barney Castle. Okay.
So this is from 1957. This is poll winners, and this is Ray Brown, Shelley Mann, and Barney Castle. And this is regarded as one of the great guitar jazz records.
Oh, absolutely.
Of all time.
Oh, he's one of the most iconic ever.
It's one of those perfect albums where the material is well chosen and the interplay between the three musicians is just, it could not be better. If you're more of a guitar guy, you like some jazz music, this is a great record to check out. Finally available again on the Craft label, but they do fantastic, very high quality, all analog transfer reissues of classic music. And I like this with them with the pixie sticks.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So seek that one out if you're looking for some classic jazz.
Love that.
And let's talk about some news.
Let's go news segment. So I believe it was either yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Getting my days flipped up. So I'm on Instagram, and all of a sudden there was an official press release from Taylor Hawkins' widow, his wife, and responding to all the kind wishes and all the support, and prayers, and just everyone who was touched by the passing of Taylor Hawkins. And I read it, and I immediately, 2 seconds later, the Foo Fighters post comes up. I'll show it to you guys if you can see it. So there's now a Taylor Hawkins tribute concert. Foo Fighters and the Hawkins family present Taylor Hawkins tribute concerts. 2 performances: September 3rd, London, UK, Wembley Stadium; September 27th, Los Angeles, at the Kia Forum. And tickets go on sale June 17th. So first question in my mind is, who plays drums? And
I think a lot of people are going to play drums.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's going to be a murderer's row of people just lined up to do that. And it's going to be interesting to see who's in support too.
It is, yeah. Beloved figure in popular music by one of the biggest rock bands of the modern era.
Yeah.
People are going to be lined. I'm sure the phone's ringing off the wall with people that want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people want to be there and celebrate. Hopefully, it's something that we will get to, since we don't live in London or LA. We will get to watch that on some service. And
there was just silence from
Yeah, and people were like, "What are they going to do? Are they going to do something?"
Right. And I think it's. I mean, obviously they don't care what I think, but it feels like the right move, and they gave it enough time to just everybody to grieve, and.
And I think they're erring on the side of caution to make sure that it is fitting.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous. I remember watching an interview with Dave Grohl. They were talking to him because when Zeppelin announced what became the Celebration Day concerts and live album and video and all of that, I remember him saying that when that was announced, how such a crazy fan he was. He gets on the phone, credit card out to buy a ticket and then book a flight to London and all that stuff. And he was like, I was not missing that. And he wanted to be there the first night.
Yeah, anybody that went to that, good move, because you didn't have another opportunity.
Yeah, I've watched those videos a million times on YouTube. But that was just crazy. You're right. We didn't see it again. All right. So what happens next week?
Hey, next week, next Saturday is the June Record Store Day event to catch all the great stuff that couldn't come out for Record Store Day proper.
Right.
Proper is called Record Store Day Drops, and our next program we're going to feature all killer stuff. It is coming out next Saturday.
That's
limited
cool.
Edition.
I'm excited.
Limited production. Cool color variants.
All the cool things that make Record Store Day a thing. If you don't know, find out. You guys going to do the?
We are
tickets,
Saturday, so you can watch our socials. But Saturday, we're going to start distributing tickets, so we maintain our level of order and chillness surrounding Record Store Day.
And the last one, I guess, the big event or the big the Taylor Swift the raffle.
Yeah. There's nothing that there's no big problems like that to solve. This
Well, I mean, it's not a problem. It just made it cool. All right, we're babbling on for no reason. All right, guys. So we're gonna do this again 12:30 next Saturday. Next 12:30. And the people are calling me. 12:30. You can jump in if you want to because I can't get this out. 12:30 next Thursday. Come see us. We're here. Hit the share button, and you can also catch this on the Fox 26 YouTube page. We are out of here. Peace. Keep holding it any minute now. Maybe. This is like when you're supposed to watch the credits for the extra content or the crazy.
We're the extra content.
I think our production team fell asleep back at the station, and we're out of here.
See you, bye.
See ya. Now we're stuck.
Do an extreme close-up.
All right, April, I'm taking matters into my own hands, and she is our producer, in case you're wondering who I'm talking to.
We're leaving the studio.
Bye for